Good morning everybody, welcome back to my kitchen garden. It is a glorious day, but I've got work in a couple of hours, so I'm just going to sit here and enjoy the weather while I can. A few jobs that I need to do that are on my to-do list, but they're not going to get done today. It will have to be tomorrow hopefully if it's like this. The first job is I still need to cut my honeysuckle right back to ground level to give it a chance to regrow and hopefully become healthier and get rid of all the problems that's got at the moment. My bush beans, they are bush beans, but they've got long tendrils and they look like they want to climb, so I'm going to put some canes in just to give them some support. And the other job, which is actually more pressing, is to have a good look at my allium bed, which is under netting. It's not been moved at all since the autumn, and it's getting very crowded in there, and I think a lot of the onions and leeks are actually bolting. So, but I'll explain all that when I come to do it. So they're all done now. It just amazes me how much growth they can put on just in a couple of days. But they look nice and healthy and happy there. So the four closest to the camera are Pebble Queen. The four next to the greenhouse, excuse me, are Blotty. And in the middle I've got my one and only Pongo. It's the only one that germinated. So I still have a few more seeds, so I might sow some more. So next to the bush beans is my cauliflowers. They're growing really well, but I've noticed now that the leaves are starting to touch the sides of the netting. And the problem with that is once we get the cabbage white butterflies, they'll be able to lay eggs on that. So I need to rethink this now. I might have to make the cage a bit bigger. Look at this. Got my first runner bean flowers. So these are the Scarlet Empire. They are bushing out at the bottom and they are climbing. There's the Golden Gate. There is some growth. They're not as tall as the runner beans. And these are the Cobra. Again, they're bushing out at the bottom and they're starting to rump away. The strawberries have been amazing so far. I've had a couple of harvests. There's some more fruit starting to ripen. But I am so happy with them this year. My broad beans, I've had 2 or 3 harvests from these already. Let me show you in the greenhouse. I've got 4 tomato plants, but look at the Rebel Starfighter. That is huge. It's already almost up at the top of the greenhouse. Got 2 fruit, look at those. And this one is the Copper River, and again it's got flowers and it's got the start of a fruit there. This one is Brown Boar. It does have flowers. And this one, I think this one is Black Beauty again. It's starting to produce flowers, but it's not as tall. A few chilies. I've got the cayenne, which is in flower, and it has its first fruit. a Scotch bonnet and a Cheyenne, and these are large tomato suckers which I've just put in water to see if they'll root. Got some basil. Oh gosh, I need to get these out in the front garden. There's a delphinium and a couple of hollyhocks. I've got another climbing bean, and then these are my chard. Now if you remember, when I came back from Rome, I discovered they'd were being attacked by the beet leaf miner, so I pinched out all the leaves and they're only just starting to recover, so they'll be able to go outside soon. And then I've got one geranium, and that's it at the moment. So I need to spend some time out here to pot on these chilies, plant out those 2 beans, do something with my basil. Yeah, there's lots of little jobs that I need to do, but I just haven't had time. So it's that time of year again. I've just taken Paddy for a walk and we've come back with a load of elderflower flower heads. Look at these, they're so pretty and the smell is divine. So I'm going to make some elderflower cordial as I do every year. So I've just spent the whole morning cleaning and reorganising the inside of the greenhouse. I've potted on my chilies, so they're all now in bigger pots. So there's cayenne, oh that's a snack pepper, and then I've got a Cheyenne, another cayenne and a Scotch bonnet at the back. This one, the Cheyenne, decent sized fruit already. And then you've already seen these. It's the Rebel Starfighter. I can't believe the size of that. I think I must be a little bit mad. It's taken me the entire afternoon to scrub all these pots. That makes me smile. A little bit OCD, I think, but they're all tidy now. Oh dear. Oh, this is something I've been putting off and putting off. This is an absolute mess. So I'm thinking first of all to cut off all the scapes, because there are a lot. I think I'm going to dig up the leeks. There's enough there for me. Could probably freeze them. The garlic is actually looking reasonably good, and I might even lift some of the onions and let some of the smaller ones continue to grow. Let's get on with it. So I decided to cut my losses. I noticed that a couple of the garlic had got rust, so I decided to pull them up. That's not a bad little harvest. The leeks, surprisingly, some big ones there. Onions. There's some nice specimens, but there's also some that where they'd bolted I can't store them, so I shall probably chop them up and put them in the freezer. And same with the red onions. I think most of those just need chopping up and putting in the freezer because they're just not going to store. But it smells divine. It's actually making me hungry. And I might even make myself a leek and potato soup for tomorrow. Right, I better get clearing up. So I've brought you to the front garden to show you the progress it's made since I revamped it back in October. So some of the plants that I put in the autumn were the sedum, the echinacea and the achillea. They were all small plants and they've all put on a huge amount of growth since the autumn and spring. So I think we'll have a good display this summer. So let me take you around the front. So this clematis is a Montana, but it's been in here. I put it in when I first moved in 22 years ago, so I don't remember what variety it was or is. But last year didn't have a good display. The previous year was spectacular, and I think this year's not been too bad. So these are the achillea. They've got loads of flower heads. That's of the sedum. The geranium's been in 20 odd years, so I can't remember what variety that is either. The echinacea. I've got a rogue thistle that needs to be lifted. That's another geranium self-seeded. Delphinium, Lavatera, the Vibascum. I need to cut those flower heads back. They've finished now. There's a thyme. This lavender's been here 22 years as well. The alliums are finished. I've just put in this delphinium and those two hollyhocks. I've got a bit of weeding to do here. There's another thyme. This Vibascum needs supporting. There's marjoram. And this buddleia has come from nowhere. It's covered in black fly. And these shrubs need trimming. But it's looking better. Certainly looking better than last year. So I'm going to do my tubs. So I've got some pink and white petunias, some impatiens and some mixed lobelia. I'll come back when it's done. heading into my kitchen because I've got rather a lot of strawberries. Not enough to make a strawberry jam, but enough to make some strawberry ice cream. So I've been having these as a dessert every day this week and last week, and the harvest is still coming, but like I say, it's not enough to make a jam. So I thought I'd fancy something rather special. So strawberry ice cream it is. So I'm going to talk you through the ingredients. I have got 200 grams of strawberries, 90 grams of caster sugar, 220 millilitres of whole milk, 100 millilitres of whipping cream. I've got 1 egg yolk and 1 lemon. Okay, so the first thing that I need to do is to puree the strawberries with the lemon juice and the milk. So I now have my 3 components. I've got the pureed strawberries, I've got my egg mix and my whipping cream. So I'm going to combine the 3 together now. So this is my ice cream maker. The bowl has been in the freezer overnight, so that is icy cold. I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to set it for 30 minutes, and then I'm going to pour the mixture in. I'll come back in half an hour. This is my strawberry ice cream. Proof is in the pudding. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, brain freeze. That's really cold, but that is delicious. Oh, I recommend you make that. If you do make it, let me know what you think. Put in the comments below. I'm going to go and sit down and enjoy this now. So I finally got round to cutting back my honeysuckle this morning. I should have done it a couple of weeks ago, but either I have not had the time, or when I have been home it's been raining. But it's very sad. There wasn't one part of it that hadn't either died back or was covered in powdery mildew. But I've removed all the leaf litter, I've swept up, and it's looking very bare now. So fingers crossed it will recover. So I'm just taking a well-earned break, and I'm just sitting here reflecting on all the jobs that I've managed to do this week. I'm really pleased actually, it's been very productive. I haven't been able to do it all in one day, but I've spread it out throughout the week, but I've accomplished everything that I put on my to-do list, so I'm really pleased about that. So all my bush beans are now supported, so they're not going to flop over. What else have I done? I've been out foraging with Paddy. We went out for a nice walk and I came back with loads of elderflower. So I made my elderflower cordial, which I do every year, and that tells me summer's on the way. It is definitely the taste of summer for me. The strawberries have been fantastic. I'm still harvesting them. There's loads more to come. There wasn't enough this week to make any strawberry jam, but I treated myself. I made a strawberry ice cream which was to die for, so I really recommend you try that. I've also picked loads of broad beans, so they're now in my freezer. I've lifted all my alliums and all my leeks are in the freezer now. And I even got round to making a leek and potato soup, which was so tasty, and again something I recommend. What else have I done? Oh, the front garden, so that's all nice and tidy now, and all my containers and my pallet planter by the front door is now all planted up, so that looks nice and welcoming. And I finally, it's taken me weeks, but I finally cut back the honeysuckle, so fingers crossed now that will regrow and it'll be healthier. So yeah, that's it for now then. So have a great weekend everybody, and if you're watching this for the first time and you're new to my channel, then please subscribe, hit the bell icon for future notifications, and also hit the thumbs up and thumbs down for more interaction. And if you leave me a comment, I will come back to you first chance that I get. So yeah, take care everybody. I'm Annie and this is my kitchen garden.